lovely viewers, welcome again to Mathematics and I. It is your favorite presenter, Jeff Nino, and today we are going to be solving the question on radical equation. Okay, now the question for today says solve the radical equation, which says root x plus 8 plus root x plus 1 equals to 7. Now, how do you solve a problem like this? Now, this is the first thing we are going to do. Let us take positive root x plus 1 to the right hand side of the equation. And if we are going to do that, we will be left with root x plus 8 on the left hand side of the equation. So let us begin the class. Okay, so we are left now with root x plus 8. Now, what we have here is 7. Now, when positive root x plus 1, root x plus 1 crosses, it becomes negative root x plus 1. Now, what is the next stage we are going to do? We are going to take the square of both sides of the equation. Don't forget, whatever you do to the left-hand side of the equation, you also do to the right-hand side of the equation, and vice versa. So taking the square of both sides of the equation, we are going to be having root x plus 8 all squared, okay, equal to 7 minus root x plus 1, also all squared. Are you with me? Good. Now, here, root x plus 8 all squared will give us x plus 8. Okay, I know you will be wondering how come it became x plus 8. I will explain. Now, let's bring it this way. Root x plus 8 all squared. Now, remember the rule in indices, which says if we have, okay, root x, it is the same thing as x raised to the power of 1 over 2. That is simply what I used to solve this. So, look up, our roots became 1 over 2. So here we'll be left with just x plus 8 raised to the power of 1 over 2, which is the root. Now multiplied by the former 2, which is there. Are you with me? It is as simple as that. The root is the 1 over 2. The 2 is the former power that root x plus 8 was carrying. Now, if 2 should cancel out 2, what I have left here is 1. And x plus 8 raised to the power 1 also gives us what? X plus 8. It is as simple as that. Okay. Now, here, what we're going to do here is that we're going to expand. We can't perform this magic here. No. Because the root here is not also affecting 7, so there is no way that magic can work. So here we're going to expand. And how do you expand? Power 2 means 7 minus root x plus 1, which is the base, is appearing 2 times. That is the function of the power. The power tells the number of times you multiply your base. So here it comes. 7 minus root x plus 1. And another 7 minus root x plus 1. Okay, don't forget that because of the power 2. So let us proceed. Here becomes x plus 8 is equal to, let's open the bracket. Now, how do you open the bracket? It is very simple. First, 7 multiply everything in the second bracket. So let's do that. If 7 multiplies 7, we are going to be getting 49. Now, what sign do I have here? Minus. If 7 should multiply x plus root x plus 1, mind you, 7 cannot multiply what is inside the root. Why? Because 7 is not inside a root. A number inside a root can only not multiply another number inside a root. So what will 7 multiply? 7 multiply 1. There is a spiritual 1 here. There's an invisible 1 that root x plus 1 is carrying. Now, if 7 should multiply the 1, we are going to get 7. Then we're going to bring our root x plus 1. Okay? Continue. Now, 7 has multiplied everything in the second bracket. What is going to multiply now? The next is minus root x plus 1. Alright, now let's go. Now, minus will be here. Now, root x plus 1 times 7 will also give us another 7 root x plus 1. Because what number is here? 1. 1 times 7 gives us 7. Don't forget I said x plus 1 cannot multiply 7 because why? X plus 1 is being guided, it's being, it's being bounded by what? Roots, the root sign. Good. Now, okay, root x plus 1 are multiplied 7. So now, minus times minus gives us plus. Now, root x plus 1 will multiply root x plus 1. And we know root x plus 1 times root x plus 1 will give us what? X plus 1. Again, I know you would be wondering how I got x plus 1. How I got x plus 1. Now, I'm going to explain to you again. Now, we said root x plus 1 multiplied by root x plus 1. This is what it means. Don't forget I said root means 1 over 2 as a power. So here it comes x plus 1 raised to the power of 1 over 2 multiplied by another x plus 1 raised to the power of 1 over 2. Are you with me? Now let's go back to the laws of indices, which is law 1, multiplication law. Law 1 multiplication law says when you multiply times, when you multiply bases that are the same, what do you do to the power? You add. So it means I will pick just one of the base, x plus 1, and then I'm going to add the powers, which is 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2. Are you with me? It is as simple as this. Now we all know 1 over 2 means half. So half plus half gives us 1. So here we have x plus 1 raised to power 1. And x plus 1 raised to power 1 still gives us what? X plus 1, which we have here. Are you with me? Are you with me? Alright, let's proceed. Now that we have gotten this, let us continue. Here, this is what we are going to be having. Okay? Here becomes x plus 8 is equal to, okay, 49 plus 1. You see, there was no way I could work with any of these with 49 because they are not the same. 49 is just a number. So you look for another number that you can work with, and the other number here is 1. So 49 plus 1 gives us what? 50. So I'm going to write 50. Now let's come back here. I have minus 7 root x plus 1, and I have minus 7 root x plus 1. Now you will notice that what I have inside the roots, they are the same. It's just like I'm saying 5 root 2 plus 10 root 2. Now because the roots are the same, I can do 5 plus 10. And 5 plus 10 gives us 15 root 2. That becomes the answer. But if I have 5 root 2 plus 10 root 3, now there is no way this can be added. Because why? The roots are what? Not the same. They are different. So it is only when the roots are the same that the numbers that the roots carry can be added or what? Subtracted. Are you with me? So here, because the roots are the same, I can work with minus 7 minus 7. And we all know minus means you are owing. So when you are owing 7 and then you are owing 7, how much are you owing? 14. So here it becomes minus 14 root x plus 1. Then what do I have here? Plus x. It is as simple as that. So now without wasting time, what we are going to do now is that let us take all the numbers that has to do with x to one side of the word equation, and then the number that has to do with just whole numbers without x to the other side of the equation. Okay, good. So it means minus 14 root x plus 1 comes to the left hand side, plus x also comes to the left hand side, and then plus 8 goes to the right hand side to make 50. So let's start. Here becomes this x. If plus x crosses, it becomes minus x. Okay? If minus 14 root x plus 1 crosses, it becomes plus 14 root x plus 1. Okay? Now, there's nothing crossing again here. So here is left with what? 50. If plus 8 crosses, it becomes what? Minus 8. Now, we all know that x minus x is 0. So what do I have next? I have, okay, I have, okay, 14 root x plus 1 equal to 50 minus 8 gives us 42. Now, what are we going to do next now? For us to be able to get x, it means we need to make x the subject of the formula. And when you say x becomes the subject of the formula, what does it mean? It means x stands alone. Nothing is with x. X is alone. Now, the first thing I have to remove here is 14. And how can I remove 14? By dividing both sides of the equation by 14. So here becomes over 14, and here becomes over 14. Are you with me? So when 14 should cancel out 14, what do I have left? Root x plus what? 1 is equal to. Now, 42 divided by 14 will give us 3. Here becomes 3. Okay, so without wasting time, I have root x plus 1. Now, watch. If you have root x, and then the roots crosses the equality sign to the right hand side of the equation, it becomes raised to power 2. If I have cube roots of x, and then the cube root crosses the equality sign, it becomes raised to power 3. So now, if this square root should cross the equality sign, what will it become to 3? It becomes 3 raised to power 2. Because we said when square root crosses, it becomes square. So here becomes, okay, x plus 1 equal to 3 raised to the power 2. You see, now there is no more square root because the square root has crossed to the right hand side of the equation and becomes raised to the power 2. So here becomes x plus 1 is equal to 9. And how did I get 9? 3 raised to the power 2 means 3 times 3 into 2 places, not 3 times 2. Wrong. 3 times 3, and that gives us 9. So therefore, x is equal to 9. If plus 1 crosses the equality sign, it becomes minus 1. So therefore, x is equal to 8. So it means for the radical equation which we solve for today, the value for x is 8. So class, we have come to the end of today's class. If this is your first time joining us, please don't forget to subscribe and also don't forget to share the videos with your friends. I hope you understood perfectly all that I did. If you go through this video, not the first time in the second time, I bet you understand perfectly how I got the answer x equal to 8. So we'll meet again in our next class. Keep on watching Mathematics and I. Bye for now.